Good morning, television family. We're back. I hope you had a good weekend. 9th day of January, 2023. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Cloudy, foggy, not real cloudy, not real foggy. We got some cameras we can actually use this morning. 30 degrees outside of our studios. This pattern of fairly mild and wet conditions is going to continue all week long. We set a record for rainfall for Saturday, January 7th. We got 0.29 inches of rain on Saturday. Then we got 0.24 inches of rain on Sunday. We had over half an inch of rain in the Wenatchee Valley over the weekend. It was pretty wet and pretty mild, although our high temperatures both Saturday and Sunday was only 34 degrees, but it sure felt warmer than that, didn't it? Especially yesterday. Warm and mild is pretty much warmer than normal. Not really warm, but certainly milder than normal temperatures, and a little wet is your forecast for the entire week. Sun's taking another week off. It's January here in the Wenatchee Valley. That's what we get. A couple of quick traffic reminders. 97A still closed on milepost 220. They had a pretty sizable rock slide there yesterday, so you can't get through between Wenatchee up to Chelan on that side of it. Milepost 220 is north of Antioch, not too far north, but you're going to have to go on the Douglas County side of the river if you're heading up to the Chelan area. Once it gets daylight, they're going to reassess the situation of the Department of Transportation. And the Tumwater Canyon Highway 2 between Leavenworth and Coles Corner, that is still closed because of high avalanche danger. You got a lot of snow, you got those steep slopes, you got the rain. That's the recipe for having snow come down on the highway, which is not good. So that's still closed as well. 97A still closed between Antioch and Lake Chelan, and the Tumwater Canyon still closed as well. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll get that up and running. Forecast details are coming up. Not a lot of news, but what there is, we'll get to you. There is a lot of sports. Who'd have thunk? Seahawks did their part, and the Lions did their part. Seahawks are going to the playoffs. Hard to believe, but they're doing it. A lot of sports to get to, and it's that time of the year again. By 6:30 tomorrow night, we will have a top 10 for the Apple Blossom Royal Court. That process begins today, and to talk about it, the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Darcy Christopherson, will be making her very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 2 minutes after the hour, let's do our cameras. Let's start out with the Heights. That's the one directly behind me. So days are getting longer. We're up to 8 hours and 43 minutes of daylight. It wasn't that long ago. We only had 8.5 hours of daylight. Sunrise a little bit earlier. Sunset a little bit later. Sunrise this morning, 7:47. Sunset, 4:30. And I already mentioned we had a record amount of rainfall on Saturday, January 7th, and we almost set a record yesterday. We came really close. 0.3 of an inches more, and we would have set a record for Sunday as well for rainfall. There's the Wenatchee Valley. So we had a lot of snowmelt over the weekend, from what I've been able to tell. The Aranda Rock camera chimes in. Okay, well, there you go. That's what we got from the Aranda Rock camera. Oh, there's a truck heading down south towards the Wenatchee Valley. That is pointed down south. You can't quite make out the Wenatchee Valley. Those lights in the far right-hand corner of your screen, I believe, is Rocky Reach Dam. That's the Aranda Rock camera pointing south down the river. Let's go to the Aranda Rock camera. Let's go to the Rock Island camera. Still cleaning up this accident. What you see there, those emergency lights are on the Malaga-Alcoa Highway, about the 3400 block of the Malaga-Alcoa Highway, which is pretty close to Malaga. They toned this out a while ago. It was a two-car accident on that highway. One car ended up rolling over. Don't know the latest disposition of that. They're starting to clean that up now. But again, those lights that you see is on the Malaga-Alcoa Highway across the river from Rock Island. They're still working on that. Again, a two-car accident. There is another close-up of that. That's from the Heights East camera, I believe. So they're still cleaning that up. Traffic is getting through. Again, it was a two-car accident about 45 minutes ago. And one of those two cars, we're told, ended up rolling over. We'll let you know on that later on with the news. All right. That is a quick look at your cameras around the area from the Sky-Fi PTZ folks. Weather all through this week and right into the Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be wet and it's going to be warm. They've talked about that huge ridge of that upper level ridge that's spinning around and just inundating San Francisco, the Bay Area, basically all of Northern California. That's actually affecting our weather because it's sending warmer and moist air from the southwest to the northeast, which means moderate snow in the Cascades, inch here, inch there. Here in the Wenatchee Valley and most of the lower locations, it'll come down mostly in the form of rain, but we will see the occasional snowflake. And by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to see temperatures in the lower 40s, mostly in the mid-30s this week, and then we really get warmed up towards the back half of the week. Apple Valley Honda sponsors it. It's from the National Weather Service, and your 7-day forecast looks like this. About 100% chance of something. Snow level is going to be about 1,400 feet. Not a lot of rain or snow, but it's going to get kind of a constant little light drizzle. The fog and the clouds aren't going anywhere. We'll get up to about 35 degrees. Slight chance of a rain-snow mix tonight. Snow level stays at about 1,400 feet. We'll get down to about 29 for the overnight low. A degree warmer. It should be dry. There's no precipitation in the forecast on Tuesday, just cloudy and gray, and a high of 36, so a little bit more snow melt. Overnight low Thursday night 30, and then a little more active on Wednesday. High of 35 with a chance of some late afternoon, early evening rain-snow mix. Wednesday night, it's a rain-snow mix, and then it switches over to all rain with a high overnight low Wednesday night of 32. And then we really start warming up. 37 degrees with rain. A lot of rain, by the way, on Thursday. We're going to get hammered pretty good with some wet stuff on Thursday. Rain on Friday. Rain in the forecast. Not too much on Saturday. And as you can see, those temperatures, which is normally about 32 for the afternoon high, will be in the lower 40s by Friday and Saturday. Gradual warming trend. Rain in the valley and a rain-snow mix in the passes. The magic number is about 1,600 feet. That'll be the snow level for most of this week. 7 minutes after the hour, a quick break, and then a quick look at the news on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
The holiday season is here, and life is hectic. Let Merry Maids help simplify yours. You expect a lot, and Merry Maids delivers more. They'll make your home or business sparkle for holiday parties, special events, and family gatherings. They'll customize the cleaning to fit your needs and your budget. Merry Maids are cleaning experts. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. Best of all, your satisfaction is always guaranteed. Visit online, merrymaids.com, and call for a free estimate. Then you can relax. It's done.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
8 minutes after the hour, cloudy, misty, foggy, not real dense, but it's out there. 30 degrees in the Wenatchee Valley, mid-30s today, mid-30s tomorrow. Rain-snow mix off and on, gradually warming to the upper 30s by Wednesday. Quite a bit of rain on Thursday and Friday, and very mild temperatures for this time of the year. We begin with this story. The Moses Lake man who bilked the federal government out of more than $50,000 in COVID-19 relief money has to serve 3 years on probation. Dondre Charles Jackson, he pled guilty in September to one count of making a fraudulent claim. Back in 2021, he fabricated a non-existent business and then applied for Paycheck Protection Program loans and got just under $51,000 before his scheme was discovered. In Spokane Federal Court on Thursday, Judge Thomas O. Rice sentenced Jackson to just 1 day of jail time. He's already served that, plus 3 years of supervised release. And during that time, Jackson may not take on any new debt or financial contracts without approval from his probation officer. Despite the pandemic and fears about a tight labor market, 2021 was a banner year, a record-breaking year for new construction in Chelan County. County Assessor Dina Walters said there was an estimated $335.5 million worth of new homes and commercial buildings that were erected in Chelan County. Last year, that amounts to a 20% increase over 2021 and more than 37% better than just 5 years ago. Walters says new construction has grown year over year in Chelan County since 2015, but that trend is not likely to continue. Rising interest rates and inflation could slow the pace of new building throughout the course of this year. Give NCW raised a total of $611,568. That's a lot, and it's going to 73 local nonprofits. 21 of those organizations, including the YWCA of North Central Washington and the Chelan Douglas CASA, they raised over $10,000 over the holiday season. This was the 8th year of the Community Foundation of North Central Washington's online fundraiser. It ran from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve. Give NCW open to any Chelan Douglas or Okanagan County nonprofit and had a minimum donation of $10. The organizations will use the awards to fund core operations and special projects. And a programming reminder. It's that time of the year again. The process begins today, and if you can't make it down to the Wenatchee Convention Center tonight, you can watch on our Facebook page beginning today from 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. The 33 Apple Blossom Royal Court candidates will do their Get to Know You get together. Again, that's at the Wenatchee Convention Center from 6 to 8 tonight. We will stream that on our Facebook page live. The big day is tomorrow. The top 10 speeches will run from 10 a.m. To 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We will have that on our Facebook page. And then tomorrow night, the top 10 announcement, 6 o'clock live on our Facebook page, 6:30 tape delay on TV. All three of the events, the Get to Know You event, the top 10 speeches, and the actual top 10 announcement is at the Wenatchee Convention Center in the lower level. It is open to the public, but all three of those events will be streamed live on our Facebook page. Looking forward to that. And that is what's making news at 12 minutes after the hour. The news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock with Grant and Eric and the whole news crew gathering the news and disseminating the news. And you can also watch the news on our Facebook page, on our homepage, or on our YouTube page if you can't make those appointments at 5, 6, or 10. And at the bottom of the screen are any number of ways you can get a hold of us if you want to submit a news story. You're more than welcome to. When we come back, sports, a lot of it. Wild weekend of football. We'll put it all together in one tiny little package. In 1 minute, you're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
'Wenatchee Dental Arts. They specialize in your smile. At Wenatchee Dental Arts, your health and comfort are their priorities. Call them today for all your dental needs.
13 minutes after the hour, two things had to happen yesterday for the Seahawks to make the playoffs. They both happened. Seahawks beat the Rams. Lions beat the Packers. It began with Seattle. They had to go to overtime to beat the Rams, but they did it. It wasn't easy. The final was 19-16. Jason Myers had a chance to win the game at the end of regulation, but as you probably saw, he hit one off the right upright. So to overtime we go. The overtime started with Seattle going 3 and out as we roll the highlights. 3 and out by Seattle's offense on the first drive. And then Quandre Diggs, boom, comes out of nowhere, intercepts Baker Mayfield's pass on LA's first possession of overtime. It was Diggs' 4th interception of the season, 2nd in as many weeks. Seattle moving the ball down to the Rams. Check this out again. Boy, it looked like it was going to be a game-winning touchdown. Boom, he caught it. I like him. And here is the game-winning field goal from Mr. Myers. Didn't miss it in overtime, 32 yards out. The Seahawks remain alive to make the playoffs at the time, of course, because they didn't kick off until about 5:15 our time at Lambeau Field. After the game, Coach Pete Carroll was beaming about the team coming through when they absolutely had to.
It was a really good finish to this season for our guys, and get some wins and get something going here and feel good about it and doing the things we had to do to give us, with what we were faced with. This win is an important win for everybody on our team. We put everything we had into it. We treated this game like it's the biggest game we could ever play, and if we get a chance, we'll do that with the next week too. But the guys rose to that thought, and really everybody battled. The NFL is so hard. You wonder, well, how can a team that's struggling, have that kind of a close game against this? Because that's just the league. That's how it goes. Teams are really good, and coaches are really good, and you got to give them a lot of credit. They've continued through a lot of hard times this year to play their butt off all the way to the end of that thing, and I think Sean does a great job, and I don't think it. I know it. He does a great job, and a lot of credit for them hanging. It was a hard year for them.
Quandre Diggs, after the game, said he thought, it looked like anyway, that pass was going to be a game-winning touchdown pass for the Rams.
Dude was wide open. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just thinking the worst. You know what I mean? And oh, man, I felt like I was 25 again, running and jumping in the air. So, for me, it was just one of those plays. They drew it up perfect. They got us in the coverage that they wanted us, and I was just able to go out and make a play. But that's probably my favorite interception ever, because just the atmosphere, everything that went along with this game and this interception, it was dope. So, all I seen was the ball, and I was like, I'm going to go get it. And I was able to go get it, and I caught it.
Seahawks win, so next on the agenda, cheer on Detroit. Check out that tweet from the Seahawks. I hope they don't get sued by Disney. That's kind of cool. One pride, and, well, it happened. Down by 3. Check out the highlights in case you missed it last night. Detroit scores the go-ahead touchdown, 1-yard run by former Packer Jamal Williams. Then on Green Bay's next possession, Aaron Rodgers drops back to pass, heaves one up under pressure. Detroit's Kirby Joseph steps in front of the ball, intercepts it. That gave the Lions the ball back with 3:37 to go in regulation. Trying to run out the clock and ice the game, Detroit goes for it on 4th and 1 at the Packers' 16. Jared Goff hits DJ Clark for the first down, and they took a knee from there. Victory formation, 20-16. The Lions upset the Packers, and for the Seahawks, it's off to the playoffs. So, your scoreboard, first of all, from the NFL West over the weekend. Seattle, of course, beating LA in overtime, 19-16. San Francisco crushed Arizona. Detroit beats Green Bay, as you see there. So Seattle gets in as the number 7 seed. They're 9-8. Detroit and Green Bay don't get to play. Sorry, guys. So here's your schedule. Seahawks will play at San Francisco. It's Super Wild Card Weekend. They're the first game of the playoffs, as a matter of fact. Saturday afternoon, 1:25 on Fox. The Chargers will be at Jacksonville, who beat Tennessee, by the way, to win their division. That game is on Saturday night at 5:15 on NBC. 3 games on Sunday. You got the Bills and the Dolphins get going in Buffalo on CBS. Game 2, Giants and Vikings in Minnesota on Fox. And then Baltimore at Cincinnati Sunday night on NBC. Then the Wild Card Weekend wraps up in Tampa Bay. Tom Brady will take on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, 5:15 on ABC and ESPN. And there's one more football game we can't forget about. Third-ranked TCU, number 1 Georgia, the CFP National Championship game, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Needless to say, Georgia is a big favorite here. We'll find out together. 4:30 kickoff on ESPN. All right, over the weekend, in men's college basketball, Eastern Washington edged Sacramento State on Saturday. Mohamed Gay scored a team-high 24 points. This was a huge upset. The Cougars beat 5th-ranked Arizona in Tucson, 74-61. Rocky road trip at 9th-ranked Gonzaga held off Santa Clara, 81-76. Drew Timme had 20 points, so did Nolan Hickman. And Arizona State took care of Washington on Sunday, 73-65. Women's college basketball, Sacramento State topped Eastern Washington, 82-74. Haley Van Lith, 18 points, 7 assists. Louisville over Pitt. And on Sunday, Charlize Ledger-Walker, 26 points. The Cougars beat the Huskies, 66-52. Seattle Kraken, they're one of the hottest teams in the league. They beat Ottawa 8-4, 8 different players scoring. For the Kraken, they're 3-0 on their current 7-game road trip. Seattle continues that road trip today. The last place Canadians will be hosting the Kraken, 4:30. You can watch that on Roots. Wenatchee Wild had a successful weekend north of the border. They won 2 out of 3. 3 games in 3 days began on Friday. An incredible come-from-behind 6-5 overtime win against Powell River. Cade Littler scoring the hat trick, including the game winner in overtime.
Down to 18 seconds to go. Wild holding the zone still. Across for Somoza. through the left wing circle. Turnaround chance from Littler. Knuckles that one high and wide as well. Across, battle for it, trying to jam it home. They score. We are tied. A bounce in front of the net. Can you believe Garrett Sedlowski right there to hammer it home? Garrett Sedlowski has tied this game with 5.5 to play. Caught on the corner boards, Gasparini sneaks it off the wall, finding Kim. Left wing Littler, 2-on-1 if they move. Littler down the left wing, wrist shot, save made, does it get through? It does, they score, Wild win, 6-5 in overtime. The red light did not go on, and it does get over the line. That is a goal, that is a win. Cade Littler, the hat trick to finish it off tonight. 42 seconds into overtime. The Wenatchee Wild come back from down 5-1. They win it 6-5.
Gee, you think they're happy? Austin Drawdy with the call. That was on Friday. Saturday didn't go so well. They lost to Alberni Valley 4-1. Parker Murray was the only Wild player to find the back of the net, but then things went better for the Wild yesterday. 4-1 win over Cowichan Valley. Very special day for Mika Berger. A hat trick for the Wild.
Wild hold it up the red line. Quick touch up by Kim. Entering on time. Somoza plays it behind the net. Looking to play it out front. Kim able to put it away. He scores. Somoza out to Kim for the tap in on the doorstep. And the Wenatchee Wild had the first goal of the night. It's 1-0. Luke Urick trying to line up a check against Weston. That's hard to do. 6'3", 210 is Weston. Tapped into the net. Berger off the setup from Stefanik. And the Wild score. Berger to the top half. And the Wild are on top by 2. Brings it ahead. Wild might be able to enter 3-on-2. Left wing Berger. Across for Kim. Waiting. Wrist shot. Great save. Rebound. They score. Berger again out front. His second of the day. And the Wild have made it a 3-0 hockey game. Scored the game-winning goal on Friday against Victoria. Cade Littler with quite a few dramatic moments of his own. Had the game winner on... Now the Wild bang one in, and they score. It's Berger on the back door. We'll finish that thought in a moment. Littler along the goal line finds Berger to bang one in, and the Wenatchee Wild 13 seconds off the jump here in the third. Micah Berger with the hat trick, and another one for the Wild. It's 4-0. Stefanik, bottom of the left wing face-off circle, throws one toward the net, and it careens high and wide. Down to 2, down to 1. That is how you end a weekend. Wild win 5-4, 4-1, 54 shots on the net on the day for Wenatchee. 2
out of 3 on the road. We'll take that. It's back home to the Town Journal Center. The Silverbacks from Salmon Arm will be in town Wednesday at 6:05. All right, the local prep scene. Can't forget about that. To the Les Schwab scoreboard we go. We'll start out with boys on Friday. Sunnyside beat Eastmont. Davis thumped Wenatchee. Moses Lake edged Ike. Ellisburg won by 6 over Ephrata. On Saturday, Moses Lake won for the second straight night. They beat West Valley. Ike downed Eastmont. Othello claiming a victory over Ephrata. For the small schools on Friday in boys basketball, it was Omak over Quincy. Chelan crushing Cascade. Liberty Bell beat Tenasket. Lake Roosevelt, Bond, Bridgeport, Okanagan over Liberty Spangle. The boys' scores on Saturday. You got Cascade and Granite Falls. They didn't play for reasons I don't know. Quincy beat Liberty Bell, Omak topped Tenasket, and Okanagan beat Orville by 60 points. Girls' scores. First of all, on Friday, Sunnyside all over Eastmont. Davis, dumped Wenatchee. Ike over Moses Lake, and Ellisburg beat up Ephrata on Saturday. In girls basketball, West Valley over Moses Lake. Ike got by Eastmont. Othello over Ephrata. For the smaller schools in girls basketball on Saturday, Omak whipped Quincy. Lake Roosevelt over Bridgeport. Tenasket over Liberty Bell. And Okanagan edged Liberty Spangle. And on Saturday, Quincy beat Liberty Bell. Omak topped Tenasket by 3. And Okanagan downed Orville by 65 points. And of course, this Friday, we're right back at it. It's going to be a busy week around here. Eastmont hosting the Rams of West Valley. Big 9 basketball. We'll have it for you live with the girls on Facebook at 5:45. The boys live on Facebook and on TV at 7:30. The girls' game will air on TV at 10:30. By the way, Eric and Grant with the call. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Monday, January 9th. I could have chosen for the obscure holiday World Nerd Day. It's National Apricot Day. Why is it National Apricot Day? It's National Static Electricity Day, perfect for this time of the year with the low relative humidity, very dry air inside and out. But no, today is National Clean Off Your Desk Day. The holidays are over. You're back to work. You're working hard. You sit down. That's my desk at the office. That's not my desk at the office. My desk isn't clean, but it ain't like that. National Clean Off Your Desk Day. Fun facts about desks. Every year, U.S. companies purchase about 3 million desks, and about 1 million desks get worn out and get thrown away. I bet you didn't know that. Using a standing desk is good for you. It burns more calories, also helps you retain your memory. So you might want to try a standing desk if you're quite interested in that. Of course, there's all kinds of reasons to keep your desk organized. For one thing, you can find things. You don't lose things. It also gives a positive image to coworkers. Wow, their desk is clean. I once worked for a guy who didn't use a desk. He used a table with no drawers because he figured he'd start the day with stuff on the table, and at the end of the day, if the table was clean, he accomplished all of his goals for the day. I didn't much care for him a great deal when it's easy just to toss a project into a drawer and forget about it, right? Today is National Clean Off Your Desk Day today. If you need to, do it today in history. We always do states. Happy birthday to Connecticut, the 5th state. There's the Connecticut state flag. They joined the Union on this date in 1788. They have 4 nicknames. Their official nickname is the Constitution State. It's also known as the Nutmeg State, the Provisions State, and the Land of Steady Habits. Connecticut, the state song, Yankee Doodle. Didn't put a lot of thought into that. Connecticut, in the year 1800, only 10% of Connecticut was covered in forest land. Now 60% of Connecticut is covered in forest land. You think it would go the other way, wouldn't you? Connecticut has the highest personal income per capita than any state. The national average is about $52,000 a year is what most people make. In Connecticut, their residents make over $70,000 a year on average. And a lot of that has to do with people who live in Connecticut but commute to New York City each day. George W. Bush is the only U.S. president born in Connecticut. They were on vacation, and Barbara went into labor, and the closest hospital was across the border in Connecticut. That's why he was born there. There are 8 counties in Connecticut, but there is no county government. They abolished all county government something like 1960s. So all local laws are passed by the state legislature. Think about that. They have 8 counties, but no county government. They do have a county sheriff, and that's about it. Happy birthday to Connecticut. The longest winning streak in major pro sports history came to an end in Milwaukee. On January 9th, 1972, the Lakers had won 33 games in a row. That's remarkable, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson finally stopped that in front of a national television audience on Sunday, January 9th. The Bucks beat the Lakers 120-104, ending the 33-game winning streak by the Lakers, which is still the longest winning streak in major professional sports history. Let's start talking Super Bowls. This is the earliest Super Bowl ever played. Super Bowl 11, Super Bowl XI, which is a registered trademark of the National Football League, all rights reserved. The Oakland Raiders win their very first Super Bowl. They just crushed the Minnesota Vikings at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. The final was 34-21, the earliest Super Bowl ever played. No Super Bowl will ever be played on this date ever again. Now it's a month later, if not more. The game kicked off at 12:47 Pacific time and ended in daylight. The only Super Bowl that started and ended with the sun up. And this is the only Super Bowl in which they did not sing the national anthem. Before the game, the great Vicky Carr instead sang America the Beautiful. The Raiders beat the Vikings Super Bowl 11 on this date in 1977. And happy birthday to the Game Changer. That is the very, very, very first iPhone ever. The iPhone was rolled out on this date in 2007. What do you say about the iPhone? One of the most significant, if not the most significant invention of this century. Anyway, the iPhone, born on this date in 2007. It is just about the bottom of the hour. Birthdays, we always do presidents. Well, here he is, the 37th president of the United States. Richard Nixon, the only president to resign from office, born on this date 110 years ago. The only person to be elected vice president and president twice. And Richard Nixon was the first president to visit all 50 states. Richard Nixon, born in the state in 1913. Who has the highest postseason passing rating? It ain't Tom Brady, and it ain't Aaron Rodgers, it ain't who you might think. It's Bart Starr. Bart Starr has the highest postseason passer rating of any quarterback. His playoff record with the Green Bay Packers, they played 10 playoff games with Bart Starr behind center. They went 9-1. That's pretty good. Bart Starr, born in the state in 1934. Of course, he won the first 2 MVPs of the first 2 Super Bowls. We lost him a number of years ago. Gilligan, Bob Denver, born in the state in 1935. Bob Denver died in 2005 at the age of 70, but a heavenly birthday for him. And some living people. Jimmy Page, 79 years old today. James Parker Page, rated number 3 on the greatest guitarists of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. Number 2, Eric Clapton. Number 1, Jimi Hendrix. That sounds good to me. Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin, 79 years old today. J.K. Simmons is 68 years old today. I first got to know him in Law & Order, and now he's kind of everywhere. Good actor, and of course he's doing those television commercials as well. J.K. Simmons is 68 years old today. Dave Matthews, born in South Africa. He's 56 years old today. Between 2000 and 2010, in that 10-year period, 2000 to 2010, the Dave Matthews Band sold more records and sold more tickets than any band in the world. Dave Matthews is 56 years old today, and she just got a promotion. She is now the Princess of Wales, Catherine. She was the Duchess of Essex since Queen Elizabeth died. She's now the Princess of Wales, and she's 41 years old today. It is 32 minutes after the hour. A brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. Another opinion about grandkids. Can't seem to get enough of them. And then Darcy Christopherson joins us to talk about the royalty selection pageant. Starts today. The process, anyway. The pageant's not for another month. Darcy joins me when we come back. You watch Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
I believe we've been coming to Abby's for 56 years, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
56 years.
Remembering all the events as a family and a community that we spent at Abby's.
Excellent and delicious food at an affordable price. We're delighted that we live close enough to be able to be a frequent customer.
And we are.
And we are. In fact, we've got orders to bring home a giant pizza when we leave here tonight.
ColorFX has moved their shop to a larger location to expand their services, including adding in a state-of-the-art large format printer. They got it. You need banners? They got them. You need vinyl decals for your cars, trucks, vans, or trailers in just about any size? Yeah, they got it. ColorFX has also been providing fun swag and clothing for local churches and high schools around our valley for decades. Support your local print shop. Call ColorFX in Cashmere today.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in East Wenatchee, a place for the entire family. Open daily for lunch and dinner. We use only the finest ingredients, prepared fresh when you order. The full menu includes your choice of over 20 gourmet beef or chicken burgers. And catch your favorite game in their full-service lounge while sipping on an ice-cold beer. Bob's Burgers and Brew, fast, friendly service. We will see you there.
Beaver Valley Lodge in Leavenworth is located on 50 acres set in a quiet country atmosphere with historic farm feel and charm. It's sure to make your stay one to remember. Beaver Valley Lodge offers a variety of overnight accommodations for groups large and small that range from rooms for 2 to 4 people to entire vacation homes with all the space you'll need for a reunion, a retreat, or a wedding. Book your stay at Beaver Valley Lodge, where you'll come as a guest and leave as a friend.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, people my age like to brag about how many grandkids they have. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Some old geezer says, yeah, I got 27 grandkids, 8 grandkids, yada, yada, yada. And we all think, wow, how cool. Well, I have 3 grandkids, and that's all I'm going to have. And you know what? I'm a quality over quantity kind of guy. My oldest grandkid, Alan, he actually lived with us for a few years, and that was cool. He shoveled my snow and he mowed my lawn. And I see Maya and Luca virtually every week, and literally I share their lives. There's no way I could do that with 27 of the little schleppers. So if you're one of those quantity folks, I mean, God bless you. You know, I'm happy for you. But for me, having the tight, close relationship I have with my 3 grandkids is just fine with me. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
1989, I moved here in July. My dad farmed, my brother's still on the family farm. I worked for a dealer in Lewiston, Idaho. I was his general sales manager. My boss goes, I got a guy that may be ready for a store. We made one trip here, and that's how I ended up here. I'd never been here in my life, and I had no friends here. I have nothing, you know. I do now. I have a lot of friends here. I mean, this is my home. I love living here.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. The last weekend in April, the first full weekend in May, that 10-day stretch of springtime and sunshine and apple blossoms means we all gather together with a few out-of-town friends and have a big old party. It's called the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. I'm told it's a big deal. We're going to learn more about it. Well, making her very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm sorry, your name again?
Darcy Christopherson.
Darcy Christopherson is the administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. We talked about this a little while ago. Everybody in your kind of position, I've talked about the Linda Haglunds and all those people, their title is always executive director, but you prefer, and your board prefers, administrator.
Yeah, that was something that when I started actually in 1995, when we separated from the chamber, the board from 1995 chose the word administrator instead of executive director. So that's what I am. I'm not sure why. I think because we have a director general that is our head volunteer or president of our board. They felt it was confusing, so they just thought administrator would be a better term.
And Ms. Fryover is going to do a great job.
I know, yes. Siobhan Fryover is our Director General for this year. She's a former chaperone, and her husband, of course, is the President of the Apple Commission. And they're awesome people to work with and have a huge tradition with apple blossoms. So she's very excited.
DG is the head volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, well, how hard can that be? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, free, giving it away just to make this thing work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It's a big job to be the director general. They're like my boss for a year, and in fact, she's coming in today to help with the judges' bags and the goodie bags for our coaches that help our top 10. So it's always something when you're director general that pops up that you need to do.
If there are 3 cornerstones to the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival that's kind of the foundation. The Smoke Growers Grand Parade probably tops the list. Memorial Park with the food fair and the beer garden and all that stuff where everybody gathers for those 10 days would be the second part of that crown. And the third part, royalty.
Yes.
And that's what we're here to talk about on this Monday.
Now, Alex Haley will think beer garden is before anything.
That's Alex. That's Alex. Here we go. Crazy next couple of days. Start with today, getting to know you with the candidates. 32, 3? Help me out.
33.
33,
yes.
Which is a great turnout.
Great turnout. And yes, tonight's the big night. We start with our Get to Know You, which used to be our candidates reception. We always had a reception the night before the speeches to just get the girls ready for speech day, and an opportunity for family members to see them. But now we've made it, because we have all out-of-town judges and no students anymore, we've now made it a 20% of the vote. So we call it a Get to Know You because that's really what the judges will be doing.
But it's more structured than it used to be.
It's more structured. We used to ask like 3 questions from their bios and a fun fact. Now we actually ask 6. And then they have a little fun fact that they have to tell us just to kind of lighten the mood up at the end. So this is a good opportunity for the judges to see how they talk about themselves. The judges actually have a bio. They have all their information, but they're being judged on, of course, presentation, and then appearance, and then how they answer those questions about themselves.
33 from Eastmont and Wenatchee. That's an uptick. That's good. That's a good number.
It's a great number. I was super happy with that number. You know, COVID was such an unknown for us for 2 years, which we still had great numbers during COVID, which is amazing. So I was kind of like, I don't know. The girls are busier now. Coming off of COVID, is it too much? And we have a great turnout. So I'm super, super thrilled with that. But when you talk about $31,000 in scholarships, it's like that's a wonderful reason right there to run.
Yeah, the Appalarians up the ante. A number of years ago, the Queen now gets, if you get all the way to the top, it's a $10,000 scholarship. That helps with tuition.
Yep, and the princesses get 5.
And everybody who makes the top 10 gets a little help me out too.
$1,000.
$1,000.
Thanks to Floor Factory for that. And then we have 4 awards that are given out that night too, where you get $1,000.
You mentioned the initial vetting process has been taken out of the hands of the student body and into professional out-of-town judges, which I think was a brilliant move. What do you know when you're 17 years old, right? What do you find the judges? Is there a talent pool that you pick into? Is there? I mean, these are professional pageant judges. These aren't just 5 people you pick off the street, or how does that work?
They're not necessarily pageant judges. They're usually professional people. Some have judged pageants in the past, and some are, people that give interviews every day. So basically how we do it is I have a list of names that have been given to me throughout the years from past pageant or top 10 judges. We have board members that know people throughout the years saying, hey, I met this person, they'd be a great judge. And then once I get their names, I interview them and talk to them. I stalk them, on Facebook and Instagram. I know that's crazy, but it's just like a job interview. We want to make sure that we get quality judges. So it's a process. I have judges for next year already. So we take it very serious, and when we like to have it diverse as far as ages, men and women,
professional
background. Some people we like to have in the Apple industry, like one judge, and then another one would have some pageant experience. So it's just kind of a diverse group. We just kind of get a feel for it. I always bring back a judge.
I was going to ask you, in previous years, at the end of the Kashmir Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant, have you had a judge pull you aside and said, I want to do this again?
Oh, yeah. All 5 of them are always like, I want to come back. So that's always my big thing, too, is who do I bring back?
And a lot of that has to do with hospitality.
Yeah, and it has to do with, leadership, because what happens when you're a head judge is you're really leading the troops. So because what happens is for the panel interviews, we have the judges come up with like 20 questions each, and then on Friday before pageant, they narrow those down to like 30, and then they prioritize them. So it's a job to do that. Sometimes it takes 3 hours for these judges to figure out which questions they're going to ask and which one is a good one and how we're going to do this. So being a head judge for both the top 10 and pageant is a job. So. But everybody always wants to come back. I've never had a judge say, I never want to do this again. I mean, maybe they think it, but they've never said it to me. I don't know.
So today's Get to Know You is at the Wenatchee Convention Center at 6 o'clock. It is free. It's open to the public. You can just come and watch it. We're going to stream that live on our Facebook page tonight. So for whatever reason, if you can't make it down to the convention center after work or school tonight to meet the girls in person one-on-one, you can watch the entire event on our Facebook page. And then things really get going tomorrow on Tuesday. That's a big day.
Yeah, that's a big day. That's their speech day. The girls have had a month to prepare for this speech. So they've been working with their royalty advisors at the Eastmont School District and Wenatchee School District, Deb Worth and Kylie Lewis. And they've been working with them for a month and a half to get ready for today and tomorrow. So they will be giving their speech, a 2 to 3 minute speech in front of the same judges that they have tonight, and then that counts as 80% of the vote. And then we will be announcing the girls at 6 o'clock that night. And everything's at the Wenatchee Center, and everything is free to the public. So the Get to Know You starts at 6 o'clock, and then speech day starts at 10, and then the announcement is at 6, and it's all in the same room. It's downstairs in the exhibit hall. We will be doing everything in segments. So we have 4 segments. So the first 8 will be in the first one, and then I think it goes 9, 8, something like that. That gives the judges an opportunity to, take a breath before the next group comes on. It was just too much to do 33 girls all at once. So, and that gives people the time to maybe if they're running late and they're girls in the second group, they can come in and watch. So we're really trying to make it as easy for parents and family and friends to be able to pop in and see their girl.
Talk about the percentage breakdown, because both the events we just talked about, today's event and then tomorrow morning's event, the Getting to Know You today and the top 10 speeches, those are judged and it's a percentage basis, right?
Yep. So tonight is 20% of the vote.
Okay.
And then tomorrow is 80% of the vote. And what's great about it too is the girls in November drew their number. So it's not an Eastmont chose 1 through 10 and then Wenatchee chose 1 through 12. I'm just saying these numbers. We had them pick. So they're intermixed with Eastmont and Wenatchee, which that's never been done, because we've always gone to Eastmont and watched Eastmont speeches, and then we'd go to Wenatchee and watch Wenatchee speeches. And even last year we did it that way too. We had Eastmont go first, Wenatchee go second. And this is actually coming from the judges. They said, why don't you guys mix it up? Then, no one's looking at the Eastmont Wenatchee thing at all. And we're like, well, yeah, we can do that. So Steve Neer is working it like that, to where it just spits out the top 5 from Eastmont and the top 5 from Wenatchee. So we're really excited about that.
And again, that event, the top 10 speeches, which starts at 10 in the morning on Tuesday?
Yep, 10 a.m.
Okay. And it lasts about a little over 2 hours. Last year we thought, okay, there's 33 gals. This will take 4 hours. It didn't.
It doesn't,
It took,
yeah.
I think, a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was over.
Yeah,
and that was including the breaks.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think the breaks will be quicker this year. Last year, again, it was such an unknown how we did everything last year, which I thought we did a great job considering, but it goes quick.
And again, that's at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, so a lot of people are not going to be able to be at the convention center in person. That'll also be streamed live on our Facebook page. And then tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we whittle it down to 10.
I know, yes. And then we'll have our top 10, and then these girls will be very, very busy for a month getting ready for pageants. So I mentioned earlier about coaches, and we have a group of community members that work with our candidates, whether it's makeup, learning how to eat, learning how to walk, media. Eric Grandstrom helps them with.
Is Ann still doing the...
Ann Deal and Corrine Tilley, they do the etiquette dinner.
Right.
And what's fun this year is we'll be doing the etiquette dinner at the country club.
Ooh.
I know. And then they go to the wild game afterwards. So they'll have full bellies and be able to go to the Wild game and have it's Star Wars night, so that'll be super fun for them. But we're just blessed to have so many amazing community members that take up a lot of time to train these girls. You know, they do this all as a volunteer, and I think it's one of the best. Well, it is one of the best in the state as far as training these girls to get them ready for a pageant.
And the time period between the top 10 announcement, which again is tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and we'll have for you live on Facebook at 6 and then on TV at 6:30. The time period after the top 10 is selected to the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant has now been extended. It's a little bit longer than it used to be.
Well, it's the same as it used to be.
But it's
just different than it's been during COVID.
Right.
COVID, you know, I think last year they only had 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So everything is exactly the way that it was.
So they have a month.
They have a month. They have the 3 weeks of total training, and then the last week, of course, is rehearsals for pageant, which this year the pageant will be back at the Performing Arts Center. If you remember, it's always been at Wenatchee High School. Back in the 80s is when we started that at Wenatchee High School, and then we had COVID, so we went to the PAC because that was the only facility that would let us go there with our cutout head people, remember?
Right. Yeah, well, and again, because the schools were closed.
Yeah, because the schools were closed.
Right.
So we did that at the PAC, and then the next year, the PAC, we couldn't do it there because we had to wear masks and be tested and all that. So we did that at the center. So now we're back at the PAC. So we're back to our new home again. So tickets are different this year for pageant. Pageant will be February 11th, and of course we want to thank Cashmere Valley Bank for once again sponsoring the pageant. And tickets will go on sale January 17th at the PAC.
Okay.
So they will not be at the Performing Arts.
17th is a
festival.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Because it used to be MLK Day.
It used to be that, but we just thought that was easier for everybody just to do it as far as the PAC, just to be able to do it on Tuesdays.
Good idea.
So the public will be able to purchase them on January 27th, just like when you purchase anything else for the PAC at that time. So.
And again, Saturday night, February 11th, the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant. Thank you, Greg Oakes.
Yes.
He's such a nice guy.
And usually he speaks before pageant, so we'll probably have him do something before pageant. But yes, we're again very blessed to have such amazing sponsors and
Does the pageant have a theme this year?
We do kind of have a theme.
Okay.
I can't tell you yet. I'll tell you next time I come in.
Wenatchee Central
We wanna
Lions
wait
Club
to
again?
save
the
it.
whole-
Yep. In fact, I'm meeting with Gavin Geringer after this. He's our director from the Wenatchee Central Lions Club this year. And now that we're doing everything out of the schools, that same crew will help with top 10. So Gavin will also direct the top 10 process. Craig Field will be there to help with backstage. We have a house manager, Susan Mullen, just like we do for pageants. So it's a mini pageant in our world for the Lions Club.
It's amazing considering all of the obstacles that they had last year by having the pageant at the convention center, because the pageant is a show. It's a show. Yep. It's not only, we're going to have a royal court by the end of the night, but it's entertainment, it's excitement, and how you're going to do that in that kind of atmosphere. And they pulled it off.
They did.
I mean, I got to be honest, I had my doubts last year. How are you going to put on a show in a big barn, like nothing against the convention center, but it's not a theater.
Yeah. No, but it turned out great. And again, you know, the Lions Club and Todd Keniston was awesome. And we just all kind of brainstormed and said, we can do this. You know, we can do it. It's just different. We just have to think differently. So we did it, and it was great. And the girls loved it. It was very cozy, which is kind of the same feel at the PAC. The PAC is way more cozy than the high school. So the girls loved it. They didn't know any other way. It was just us. And once we thought about that as a crew, okay, the girls don't know it any other way. So we just got to make it the best we can make it. And we felt really good about it.
Again, a programming reminder, Getting to Know You is today at 6 o'clock at the Wenatchee Convention Center. If you can't make it down, it will be streamed on our Facebook page. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock is the top 10 speeches with all of the candidates, all 33 of them. I got the number
33,
correctly. Again, at the Wenatchee Convention Center. That starts tomorrow at 10. That'll be streamed live on our Facebook page. And then the top 10 announcement tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, live at our Facebook page at 6 o'clock, tape delayed on television at 6:30. But the Cashmere Valley Bank Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday the 11th, live on everything. Live on our Facebook page, live on our website, live on television, as we like to say, TV. And again, I will be I'll be missing that. I'm sorry.
I
was
know,
there last year.
I know. Yeah, because everything was later. So
Everything
you
was
were
later.
able to go, but now you'll be golfing.
Yeah,
right?
I'll be in Arizona for the Super Bowl. I'll be. The Super Bowl's in Arizona.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah, I'm looking
good
forward to
for
that.
You.
Super Bowl, by the way, is a registered trademark of the National Football League. All rights reserved. Darcy, while I have you here, anything else? Let's touch on.
I don't think so. I just always encourage people to go to our website, appleblossom.org. All the pictures of the candidates are on our website. And then, of course, any applications that you need to fill out are on the website. We have our logo contest for Youth Parade. That's on the website. And, of course, the Grand Marshal for our Youth Parade to the contest for that is also on our website. So anything and everything Apple Blossom, go to our website.
There you go. The administrator of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, Darcy Christopherson. It's nice to meet you, by the way. Thanks for appearing
With an F, not a PH.
Yeah, thanks for appearing on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And have fun the next couple of days.
Oh, it's my favorite time.
I know there's a lot going on, but you're always beaming when this is happening.
Yeah, it's my favorite time.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Bubbly by Cake Chick, where friends come to relax and reconnect. Enjoy delicious lunches, decadent desserts, classic champagne, and bourbon tastings. Make every day an occasion when you join friends at Bubbly by Cake Chick on Riverside Drive in Wenatchee.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? And what would it be like? With today's home values, this is the perfect time to sell and make those dreams real. When you work with a world-class agent at Coldwell Banker, you benefit from trusted guidance and our revolutionary seller's assurance program to make your home sale more rewarding than ever. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
All right, getting ready to wrap up a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. A couple of things I wanted to pass along to you. No changes yet on the closure on Highway 97A between Aniat and the Knapsill Tunnel. They had a pretty good size rock slide come down. It's closed. Milepost 220 has been for the last 48 hours or so. The DOT is working on getting those rocks out of the way. So, again, for you folks who plan on traveling for the Wenatchee Valley to all places north, specifically Chelan and farther up, you're going to have to take the Douglas County side of the highway because 97A is still closed, as is the Tumwater Canyon. The last I checked, the Tumwater Canyon between Leavenworth and Coles Corner closed because of avalanche danger. We had some very mild weather. Record rainfall for January 7th on Saturday, and we almost set a record for rainfall on Sunday. Over the weekend, we had over ½ an inch of rain, and that could lead to all kinds of different problems. And we're not done with the wet stuff yet. From Apple Valley Honda and the National Weather Service, here is your forecast for the week. Rain today would be late in the day, probably close to sunset, but there's a good chance of it, especially in the overnight hours tonight. We're going to get right to about 35 degrees, so rain-snow mix in some locations, certainly cloudy. Chance of rain off and on tonight, overnight low about 29. Dry on Tuesday, but very foggy and very cloudy, no sun. You see there's no sun at all in the forecast with a high of 36. A little bit cooler on Wednesday, rain-snow mix possible. A lot of rain in the forecast on Thursday. And look at the warming trend. To 37 we go on Thursday, rain on Friday, and a high of 40. Slight chance of rain on Saturday. And again, a high of 40. We will see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.